Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here for another video on my channel. Today, I really wanted to talk about something that I've a lot of experience with, and that is dreams. So, I have been dreaming really vividly, really kind of like it's almost like there's like an epic plot line and incredible visuals, and it's incredibly vivid and emotionally impactful, my dreams. And I've been having dreams like this vivid ever since I can remember. And it's just always been a part of my life. I've gone through phases where maybe I dream a little less or my dreams are a little more normal, but like almost every single night I go to bed, I have some weird ass dream, and I wake up and I have to tell somebody about it. And it has honestly brought me a lot of joy. Like, I really like how my dreams are like that, even when they're kind of freaky or a little disturbing or anything like that. Usually I'm not too disturbed by my dreams, even if the subject matter may be heavy in them. But even when that does happen, I always have a great story the next morning, so I'm not too bothered by it. But I kind of wanted to talk about dreams in a spiritual sense, and the types of, I guess, spiritual ways we dream. I guess dreaming in general is just a spiritual experience, is everything. But I've noticed with different people, in terms of like their psychic gifts in connection to dreaming, there's maybe about 3 different types of ways your dreams can communicate with you, as far as I've been able to discover. And sometimes these things like overlap a little bit, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it and talk about why it's kind of important to try and tap into your dreams. I'll tell you how I kind of define an out-of-body experience. So firstly, I do think that our souls go somewhere else that isn't our body when we sleep, regardless if we feel our soul lift up and like escape our physical form or whatever, regardless of if you have like an astral projection experience like that. I think your soul does go to other dimensions and things like that when you sleep anyway. But I'm defining out of body experience as like you go to bed either with the intention to do this or not, actually feel your spirit lift out of your body, which is an insane feeling, by the way. And everything is very vivid, very clear. You're aware that you have left your body, like you can look down in your spirit form and see it. And from there, I guess you can go other places. It's kind of up to you, or up to how much you can control of that. If you do this, I would recommend immediately calling in a trusted guide. I believe this practice is safe. But it doesn't hurt, just so you don't get like freaked out and not know where to go and things like that. I don't think you can actually get lost or anything like that, but for your own peace of mind, maybe call Archangel Michael if that's something you do. So the magic of astral projection, I think, is first of all being so clearly shown the difference between your physical body and your spiritual body, being shown that it's actually technically sort of 2 different things. Like, you do have a spiritual light body, and I feel like part of the magic of an astral experience of that is really showing you, without a doubt, that you do have a light body and you do have a spirit. Literally, you are in spirit form looking down at your body once you kind of, I guess, escape it. And I think that's really potent, and I also feel like you remember things more, is kind of the vibe I'm getting. Please let me know if this is different for you. Like, if you have a lot of experience astral projecting, please tell me, because I honestly don't. That's not usually how my dreams go. It's not easy for me to like get into that kind of meditative space and feel my spirit lifting out of my body. I've only sort of had that happen like once. So I'm kind of talking based on what I've channeled and what I've heard from other people, and kind of what I'm figuring. So if you have some more information or conflicting information, please share it in the comments. I would love to hear it. Also, if you have any stories about astral projection, please tell me. I would love to hear them. Another part of the magic of that kind of, I guess, dreaming is also connected to, I think, remembering more or being more present in the experience. It's a more tangible experience, and then when you wake up, you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened, because you know now that it did happen. not just in your head. It actually happened in another plane of existence that was not physical. So I feel like that's really cool. I've heard stories of people literally like traveling to go. I think I saw a TED Talk. Somebody was talking about going, like, as a kid, they astral projected and kind of flew through the sky, kind of thing, to see their grandmother. And I forgot exactly what it was, but they saw that something was wrong. So that when they woke up, I think they like warned their family, or if she didn't warn her family, I think she was aware that something was going to happen before anyone else did because of that experience. So it's like you can get a lot of information this way. Of course, make sure you're being like ethical and like don't be spying on people for like no reason. I don't know if you even can, to be honest. Like I don't know if like a guide or your own guides would stop you if you try doing that. I don't know, but just in case you ever get the opportunity, like be ethical with it, of course. But yeah, so that's kind of the magic of that. And now I'll talk about maybe like the second coolest like type dream, or type of dreaming, which is like I'll call it prophetic dreaming. So prophetic dreaming is basically what you can imagine. It's literally when you dream things that haven't happened yet but will, and when you wake up, eventually they do happen. Maybe not to you, maybe not for a little bit, but it happens, and get that major deja vu feeling, and you realize you've dreamed this exact situation before, and freaky, right? I think this is so cool of like a psychic gift. Like I have very, very, very vivid dreams, and they feel very symbolic and very spiritual, and I feel like they carry very deeply encoded messages, even if they're just for me or whatever. Like so powerful. But I have never, I at least I don't think I've ever had a dream where I dreamt something and it happened so concretely. Maybe I've forgotten and it has, but I don't think so. So if this is a type of ability you have, treasure it, write your dreams down. Oh my god, you are literally the Oracle of Delphi or whatever. Like, that is so cool. Please write down your dreams. Just in general, write them down if you don't remember them at all. So just please write them down. You could end up predicting some cool things and then like having proof. Like if you put like your date, the date you had the dream, and then write the dream down, the date and the time, and then if it happens that day or the next day or whatever, you have proof. I mean, sort of. But yeah, no, that is very cool. I feel like the magic of that ability is pretty self-explanatory. Like you can tell the future a little bit. So yeah, that's very cool. And now I will get to my favorite. Okay, my favorite because it's the only one I like have. But my favorite kind of like spiritual aspect to my dreams, or spiritual genre of dreams, which is the spiritually symbolic kind of dreams. So these I'm defining as dreams where you don't really necessarily know you're dreaming. Like, it doesn't have to be a lucid dream. It usually isn't for me. It can still feel very dreamlike in where like normal details that in this life you would be like, wait, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't look like that. Like my desk isn't that color. Like details like that. You don't have to notice those in the dream for this to be like a spiritual symbolic dream. You don't have to be hyper aware, I find. Sometimes sometimes the message comes through a little better when you get lost in the role as well, I found. But yeah, they're very symbolic. So symbols. So what kind of symbols? For me, it's always animals and water or fire, like elements and things like that, which tell me something. So yeah, one thing I do is if I see like an animal in my dream, it's always important, because even growing up, I didn't really see animals in my dream a lot. Like, I honestly didn't, until I started getting into my kind of like my spiritual journey, and then my dreams would have aliens in it and like all these crazy things that, I've always had crazy dreams, but like, and like animals, like way more animals than usual, like, and they don't really necessarily have a bearing on the plot of the dream, but I see them and I know it's important. Like, I wake up and I remember it. So animals is a great thing. Water is a great like symbol. Like, I'll see water is emotions. It's either shallow or deep emotions, but it's also deeply spiritual. It's kind of deeper it is, it could be hidden potential. Like, it depends on you and it depends on the dream, but don't get too stuck on what a specific animal is supposed to mean, or how much water is supposed to mean in a dream. Like, dream meanings, it can be really helpful, but it's also like, I feel like, like when you're in the dream and you wake up, I feel like you can figure it out, if it's something symbolic like that. So I can give some examples for my own dreams if you guys like a little story. But basically, some symbols that I see, I like foxes show up when they're telling me to be weary of somebody, or to be careful, of somebody's intentions, and the color matters. Black and white foxes, a group of them meant people who aren't like all good or all bad, or most people aren't, or have necessarily specific negative or specific good intentions. They are just kind of like neutral characters, and they were like running alongside me in this dream. So it was like, right now they're going in the same direction, but they don't have any like loyalty to you, so like, be careful, they are foxes. It's kind of the message I was getting. And then I saw a red fox, and it was like aggressive, and it was like, I thought it was gonna like bite me, and I woke up and I knew immediately what that dream was about and who it was about. So that's a symbol, foxes as well. I also, in terms of deep water, I'll tell like one specific dream I've had recently. So I used to have this recurring dream. It wouldn't recur that much, but more than once, where I would be, I think, going to like a public pool or somewhere. I don't really know. It was just, like a public pool or something. And I would go into the change rooms in the washroom area, and I just could not escape. Like, every time I tried to open a door or go back, I just kept finding more and more of this creepy, dingy, like, washroom / change room space or whatever. Like, it was, I found the bathroom dimension. It was fucked. I didn't like it. And I can't get out, and I'm stuck. And for some reason, like, don't judge me, there's all these, like, naked men, and they don't really care that I'm there. It's not like, oh no, she's here. I'm just like, it feels like I'm in the wrong place, is the point, and I can't get out, or whatever. I'm also naked, I think, and I don't feel great about it in this dream, and I can't like escape this fucking washroom dimension, and it's freaky in the dream though, because I keep opening doors and doors and doors, and then at one point in the last time I had this dream, I was like, I keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result to get out of here. I can't just keep going down. Like, I've tried this direction and that direction. Obviously, this isn't for me. This isn't the space for me. This isn't working. And once I figured that out, it was like immediately I'm like, no, I know what to do. And a door either just appeared, or I finally noticed it to my side, and I pushed out of it or whatever, into this beautiful, like, it was kind of like an ocean. Like, parts of it were sectioned off to be like a swimming pool or whatever, but it was like in this beautiful kind of like tropical-ish, I don't know if tropical is the right word, but this beautiful like blue ocean, and I felt so free, and I felt like I finally figured out my purpose or whatever, because I felt so free in this water. I was still naked, but now I felt like I knew who I was and who I was meant to be, and I was totally open and ready to share that with everybody, and there was no shame attached to it in this dream. And I know now, when I woke up, that dream was really about like me trying to fit into maybe more like in terms of like career and stuff, more masculine roles or whatever. Masculine, I don't mean like only boys can do it or only and girls can't or anything like that. I just mean like things that are traditionally masculine, and I was trying to fit into that to, I don't know, like prove myself, or like make sure I make enough money basically to survive, and make sure my parents are happy and proud of me and things like that. But when I was able to leave that scary washroom full of naked men, it was because I realized that's not for me. That's never going to be for me. I don't really have that skill set, guys. And it's not because I'm a woman. It's because I'm not meant to, and I don't. And that stuff, could I do it? Yeah, I could do it. But why? For what reason? I don't want to feel like how I felt in that fucking washroom. So yeah, that was just a fun little symbolic story, you know, the nakedness being vulnerability, and then empowerment in that vulnerability, in that kind of bare truth. And yeah, that was a really great dream, actually. I have tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of dreams, you know. If you guys ever want dream story times, I can make those forever because I never run out of content. And I'm gonna be honest, some of these dreams feel like little thriller horror movies. Like, I'm not super freaked out in the dreams usually, but like people hearing them are kind of like, huh. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about those kind of 3 ways you can interact with your dreams. Either they're prophetic, or it's like an actual out-of-body experience that's very tangible for you, or it's more symbolic messages that do mean something and can be prophetic in a sense. Like, these categories can overlap, but it's less, what's it called? It's less you see something happen and then the exact thing happens, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I that's mostly it. The last thing actually I want to mention is that if you're somebody who like really struggles to remember their dreams and like kind of doesn't, or maybe your dreams are kind of just like you going to school naked and, you know, things like stress dreams constantly, or you're going to work and you don't know where work is kind of stuff. First of all, you probably have to, I don't know if it's work on your anxiety. And I have these dreams too, so, like, don't worry, they're normal. But, like, if those are coming up for you more, that means you have enough stress or whatever in your daily life that, like, your brain, or I think this is what this means, your brain is just trying to process it and, like, kind of, like, prepare itself for situations like that, is what I think as a non-professional person who just has a lot of dreams and a lot of opinions about dreams. So it might be worth kind of trying to do something about that anxiety and kind of ground yourself more. Not to bypass it and pretend it doesn't exist, but really, like, if you're dreaming about it, acknowledge it, work with it, see what you can do to kind of calm down your nervous system and just chill, so that when you're going to bed, you just start having like a ton of anxiety dreams, because that's not very restful either. I fucking hate them, to be honest. They really like ruin the night for me. But if you just don't really have dreams at all, or like barely remember them, I know everyone says this, but like actually write them down. Like, I swear to God, actually write them down. Even if you remember nothing, even if it's a word that makes no sense or just a fucking sound or a bunch of letters, if you get into the habit of like, because I'll write them down too sometimes when I feel like I might forget. I usually don't, but even I'll do this. It does help. It really does help, I think. It can be kind of tedious if to wake up every morning and write down blue, if that's all you fucking remember. But, like, one thing that also has worked for me and, like, really works for me and gives me the most insane dreams. I don't even use it most of the time because, like, I just kind of want to go to bed. But selenite, like, if you have a good selenite stick, obviously if it's like flaky, put it in a bag of some kind, and then put it under your pillow or in your left hand before you go to sleep, and it'll actually help with your dreams. Like, I swear to God. Like, and if it doesn't, that's okay, but like, at least for me, like, I don't know, like, I usually don't expect crystals to, like, I don't know, work, I guess. I, like, truly, I've not been, like, a big crystal person. I really like them, but, that's one thing about spirituality. I've always been like, there's no way the rock can do that, but I believe the rock can do this. I don't know what it is with selenite. I don't really know why. It makes it easier to, like, remember your dreams or whatever. But shit, it fucking does. So, if you're, like, running out of hope that you'll ever remember a dream, just get a stick of selenite. Like, try it. I swear to God. But, yeah, that's actually all I have to say today. This might be a longer video than usual when it's just me talking, but, thank you so much for being here. I hope this was interesting to you. I hope it could potentially help you on your journey here on this planet. And yeah, I look forward to hopefully hearing somebody's dream in the comments. No pressure, but it would be fun. And yeah, Thank you, and hopefully, if everything goes to plan, I will see you next week. Bye.